Hey, what's up, y'all? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. So, earlier today, on the same date as I have posted the other video, here I am. I'm at home. I just got home. Before this, I was, of course, outside with the Sparklets jersey and all that, and I was at work. But I really wanted to come back and touch on maybe just at least at least one more thing that I left out. Now, it's pretty clear what I was trying to say on the first part to this dual collection of a video, but let me go ahead and clarify what I was trying to say rather than you trying to assume. So, the word of the day is hypocrisy. Now, I want to tell you guys something. I used to work in an adult shop for almost 2 years, and I worked in mainly in LA, mainly in LA, and the places that I've worked in, they're pretty shady. So people would come to the place where I was working at because it was on a down low, like meaning like it's in a rinky dinky side of this one particular town in LA. So I'm not gonna say the name of it. I don't want you to do no research. I hope you could just take my word for it because this is this one particular experience helped me see more things about human nature. Now, from time to time, when I would go to church and I would sit down with the men's fellowship every Saturday morning, we would have a great talk. We would open up with a prayer, and then we would go on with the Bible topic, whatever it may be. And what made me feel so comfortable about the group was that they would allow you to express what you thought about the scriptures in your own words. And at the very beginning of the group, within the first few years, we exercise that that type of liberty where you can say basically whatever you want. Just, as long as it's not too outlandish. And so the topics that were being thrown around, of course, were your typical the Sodom and Gomorrah, your it's a sin for say same-sex marriage. It's a sin if you go outside of your marriage and you find someone else. It's a sin to masturbate. It's a sin to fucking stick a finger up your ass. Okay? It's a sin to look at other people and say, damn, I want that. Everything's a fucking sin for these people. Everything, according to the goddamn stupid fucking Bible. Goddamn Bible. But is that really what the Bible says? Or is just somebody saying it because he feels that there was power when he says it? That people just be like, oh my God, you're right. Or is that what it says? Oh, I didn't know that. So, my experience with not just one church, but a few other churches, I quickly noticed, well, not quickly, because I credit myself for paying attention to people's behaviors, and I can kind of tell, like, is this man straight or not? Is that woman straight or not? And I have I was involved in a few youth groups from time to time, and the youth groups were the ones that were more out loud, outlandish. They have colorful hairs, they have the piercings and all this stuff, right? So it was almost clear to me that a good portion of these people within the youth group were that type. They were probably on the down low, like LGBT, right? And again, like, if you're gay, God bless you. Because the best thing that you could do is to actually come out and just live your truth, live your life. Who gives a fuck what anybody says? Even the church. At this point, as much as I respect people who actually go and do the deeds, but at the same time, I look at churches and I'm like, to me, it looks black. Like every church I see out there, I feel like it's just darkness on the inside. Because the pastor knows. And the pastor himself is a fucking dog. And he likes to see all the good looking women in there. And the women get all the attention too. They like the attention. So don't fucking lie to me, you fucking hypocrites. I've heard women, older women in there talking like, damn, like they can't wait to go home and vibrate themselves. Like, for real, for real. Like, I used to hear conversations. I used to walk by and they wouldn't say it out loud or nothing like that, but you can fucking tell. Just like how you could tell, I can tell when men are talking and they're talking more manly men, then that means, like, yo, these dudes be watching porn and shit. Like, I know, I found out dudes be going to fucking strip clubs, and I'm not into strip clubs, by the way. Like, I don't condone it. I think it's fucking filthy, but that's another video for another day. So there was a time when I got really skinny, and I credit myself for looking fucking good. Like, I was fascinated with the way I was looking. And almost immediately, because there was like a 6-month hiatus from the church, that by the time I came back and I was skinny, people couldn't believe what they were seeing. They were like, God, what happened to you? And yeah, so I was like, yeah, I just needed to kind of, I'm just going through a phase right now, and I want to try this out. Like, I just wanted to lose a lot of weight. I felt some type of way, blah blah blah. And then slowly but surely, I started getting hit up by not only young girls, and I mean young, like I mean like 18, 19, compared to what I was in my late 20s, early 30s. Then I also started getting hit up by dudes, and I kind of knew it was like, yo, this is kind of weird. Like, all right, whatever. I'm thinking it's still church things, right? Some of these dudes would hit me up, text me, then I would get on the phone with them, and it was just a matter of time until they let the cat out the bag and let me know that they're in bed with another man. And I'm like, why are you telling me? Why the fuck? Why are we on the phone right now when you're doing that shit, dude? Like, if anything, bro, like, I think it's cool, but why are you telling me? So it was clearly obvious, like, they were trying to invite me into their world, and I was like, nah, dog, this is way too uncomfortable. Now, I mentioned that there was a moderator within the men's group that I would go to Saturday mornings. I told him about it, but I didn't tell him everything. I didn't tell him about like everybody that was doing this with me, because it, when I hear myself talk and I'm telling him about it, it was like I felt like I was saying too much, and he probably wasn't even going to believe me, because it felt like I was coming across very arrogant, like really conceited. Like, how dare you? Like, do you really think people want you like that? Yeah, they were fucking calling me, dude. So is that? Oh, that's. I think that's Amazon Prime. Yeah, they're dropping off a package. I could hear them. Anyways, so from there on, it was just one thing after another, and I just saw a lot of fuck shit go down. But at some point, I started to feel like I was the one being pushed back. I was getting a lot of pushback, and then not to accuse the moderator of doing a lot of shady business, because the last time I spoke to him was the last time that we were ever gonna speak, and that last time I spilled the beans. I fucking told him everything, 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 and we were on the phone for like maybe like an hour and a half, if I can recall. Like, it was like, if I could, yeah, like about an hour and a half. So I don't want to say that I'm that type of person to take credit. It really truly was a phase that I was going through. And I never knew that you could open up so many doors, and you can, like, I dare you. Anyways, but I think I'm going a little bit off track. The the amount of the amount of hypocrisy that goes on in these churches is more than I can handle, more than I can bear, more than I can name, more than I can actually sit here and sift through all the memory folders of, like, the years from 2013, 2014, all the way up to like the last few days that I was with them. And honestly, I just felt like the moderators and the pastors and all these, like, I think, I don't want to say they turn a blind eye, but when they're desperate for numbers, they tend to pander. They're not the old school Bible thumpers like they used to be. And they would pander to anybody. It's kind of like what the media does. Like, they'll throw out whatever story that comes up and see what catches the audience. And I can kind of see that now. I can see how the churches would allow that kind of stuff to happen. So again, like, every time I wanted to have a chance to say something, sometimes I get lucky and I will get like a little round of applause. But the last couple of years that I was straddling behind them, struggling to hang in there, I was getting a lot of pushback. A lot. It was very obvious to me back in 2020, but I thought about giving it a chance. Maybe this is a phase that we're all going through. Times were rough during the pandemic. Everybody was going batshit crazy. And then a couple years later, up until now, um, things just wasn't working out, because the last thing I remember, the last big fucking road bump that I had to hit was they have this guy in there who preaches all about the book of Revelation, and he was going about it like it was just really weird, super weird. It was like this guy could try to run a cult if he really tried. And I contended with him, or I'm sorry, I argued with him basically. And we were going back and forth. And it got to a point where I had to cuss his ass out twice. And I had to talk to a few other members, and I slowly felt like they didn't appreciate that because they were starting to look at me like I have no business doing that. And the part that makes me sound crazy is that being being part of a black church as a Latino, they'll quickly remind you that you're a guest. You know, you're not really you're invited. Like you're just a guest. And I thought I still had a strong connection with the last couple of guys that I was really tight with, and that was slowly slipping away too. And they were letting me know because I wasn't hearing from them anymore. And that shit was slowly eating me away because they weren't telling me how they felt about me. But I had to learn the hard way, which was I had to call them out, and I told them, that's really fucking spineless. Like, if you guys were gonna do that, I'd rather. It's just like the old saying, like somebody says somebody wants to call out racism, and another guy says, "Whoa, I like my racism up front. I don't like my racism backdoor. Fuck no." And likewise, I felt like they were brushing me off because I wasn't part of their fucking agenda no more. With the whole Harris and Trump going back and forth, or let's take it a little bit further back, with the Biden versus Trump debate, these guys were very adamant that Trump is evil. Anybody who votes, anybody who was part of that Trump thing, don't know what the hell they're talking about. They should all be locked away in the fucking mental hospital and shit like that. And for somebody who has actually went through a lot of breakdowns and have experienced trauma like that, that is really fucked up. And because I voice it out, they look at me like it's not the same as a black person would do it. You're not black, Lewis. Like, you ain't never gonna fill in the shoes. Like, you know what, you motherfucker? Like, I try to tell these people, fuck you and fuck this whole ideology, this racism shit, because the more they bring it up, the more racist they sound. Because how fucking dare you discount the fact that I've been jumped, I've been jacked, I've been terrorized by black people. Black people when I was growing up. I've been terrorized by the Hispanics too in my community, but not as much as the black people. The black people, I've seen, dude, like, I got the worst from them. But growing up, I still managed to get over that. Because growing up, some of my best friends were black. My wife is black. My kids are half Latino and black. And without trying to make this a racial thing, but at the same time, during the political climate right now, the way things are going, it's really racial. And I'm gonna step back when it comes to the whole political thing, because I do believe that black people are going through a metamorphosis. I really do. I see it. I really do, because I was part of that community. I partook in it. I was there. I used to be, dude. I used to sing to their songs. So not sing. I'm sorry. I'll take that back. I used to dance to their songs, dude. Like right in front of them. I don't give a fuck if they looked at me and laughed. Like I was with it. I used to go to the barbecues, man, every now and then. And then you this whole this whole thing about the division, just it's real. It's real. And one last thing, because I don't like to make this too long, but when they say politics have no play, or no, I'm sorry, no part in our church, it's a bunch of fucking lies. It's a bunch of fucking, like, they all do it. All of them, even your pastors, all of them. They all play games. And I just gave up on the whole church structure. I can never look back unless they ask me for my help, because I'm willing to help. I'm willing to step in and give them my hand. But in my heart of hearts, I can never look back. Like, I can never go backwards. Never. If somebody asked me if they invited you back to the church, if I had that invitation right now, if they call me, I would be like, you know what? I won't be part of the church. Don't consider me as a member. I'm not interested anymore. But if you like, we could talk about real stuff that I have found as far as my biblical studies goes. The shit that I found outside of the Bible, that the Bible is not telling you. If you really want to make it about Bible studies, I got you. But until then, fuck no. The church is like, it's it's like another club for people who like to just come together and make themselves feel good. The whole Bible study thing just went out the window, man. They just like to make it, like I said, they just like to make each other feel good. It doesn't matter what it is, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm not wording it right. So anyways, guys, I'll just leave it at that. Again, thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Lone Wolf on your rancher. But yeah, I'm here with God. I'm here with the Holy Spirit. I got him. Spirit of truth. And my thought adjuster is always with me, doing an awesome, awesome job. Beautiful. Never gave up on me. Never. So, all right, guys. Thank you for listening. Peace.